going to be making some tuna tostadas. And usually when you make tostadas, you use tortillas, but I'm going to change it up with a really versatile pastry. This is Kataifi, which is a string-style pastry. And when you see it, you'll actually think it's vermicelli or my hair before I've brushed it. But it is so delicious after it's been baked with butter. It becomes so crispy. So what I'm doing here is just using my hands to tease the Kataifi apart. And I'm doing this because I want to mould it into discs. So loosen it up. And if you don't need to use all of it, just pop it straight back into the bag, wrap it with some cling film, and then into the fridge, and it will last a while. Okay, so now we need some butter. I've melted my butter. We're going to pour that over. Lots of butter. And to go with this, I love the addition of some sesame seeds. So just white sesame seeds, we'll add that to the dish along with a pinch of salt. And get your hands in there and coat the Kataifi in the butter and the sesame seeds. Really work this, again, teasing, pulling apart, and then just squishing it together. Now, to form this into discs, I have 2 trays and just a cookie cutter. This is just going to help mould them into the perfect disc. We'll place that onto our tray, grab a mound of the Kataifi, pop it into the tray, probably don't need that much, just a small handful, and press down on it so it forms a nice golden crispy disc that's going to hold our other ingredients. So that's the first one. And I'll do a few more of these and then they go into the oven. Hot oven around 180, 190. They're going to cook for about 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. Now, while the Kataifi discs are cooking in the oven, let's get onto a few things to garnish it with, if you like. So we've got some gorgeous tuna. I'll slice that in a moment, but before that, we need to pickle some onions. Now, I've cut my onions on a mandolin, or you can just use your knife to finely slice them. These onions are going to turn purple because we're going to pickle them in some vinegar, so some red wine vinegar. And you see, after I start to bruise them up with a good pinch of salt and some sugar, all of those gorgeous purple colours are going to come out and almost dye them. So just by bruising these with your hands and squishing it together, you'll see how much liquid comes out of the onion. See that? And what this does is takes the harshness out of the onion and just leaving us with the sweetness and crispness of it. Okay, we'll pop that to the side. It only needs about 15 minutes. Another accompaniment to go with our Kataifi is an avocado puree. Very simply, lovely ripe avocado. We'll cut that in half. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. This is going to bring a creamy component to the dish. So this is essentially going to be laid. We'll have the Kataifi, we'll have the tuna, creamy avocado, and the pickles on top. A fantastic starter. Just into a jug, and I'm going to blend this. If you don't have a stick blender, you can just mash this very easily with your fork. And some lime. So I'm going to use the zest and the juice of the lime. I'll need 2 limes for this because I need another one for the tuna. Let's use the whole lot. And the juice. So good squeeze in there. And I'll use this spoon just to give me a hand to get as much out as possible. We'll season it with some salt. And for a bit of a kick, I love the addition of some Tabasco. I'm going to add a good amount of Tabasco to this, 5 drops, and we'll give it a blend. All right. Oh, look at that. See how creamy and smooth that is? That's what we're after. And now for the tuna. Look at this gorgeous lean piece of tuna. I'll grab a sharp knife and I want to cut this into thin medallions. I don't want big chunks of tuna for this. It's a really refined dish. So nice, fine slices. And just like every component in this dish, I do want to season it. I want to be careful though not to add any acid or salt at this stage, because if you do that, it'll start to cook this fish. So I will only add some lime zest and some oil. Just let that fall straight on the top. And something that's got some guts to it. So I'm using a robust extra virgin olive oil for this. And you'll see that it starts to shimmer as you just dress each piece of the tuna. Very last minute, I will season it. For now, we'll just let it marinate in that lime zest and the oil. Just gorgeous. All right, not long now until our kataifi is ready. I'm gonna allow them to cool, then we can dress it. So impressed with the results of these. See how golden they are, just right. You can see those little speckles of sesame seed, which will add another layer of flavour. So after they've cooled, they're still delicate, but that's what you want because they're so crispy. We'll pop it onto the plate and now we can dress. So I like to start with creamy, so a dollop of our avocado. And look at the colours. It's the colours of the rainbow here. You know this is going to be a really happy dish to eat. So a generous dollop and spread it out. Next, our beautiful tuna. We haven't seasoned it yet, so a pinch of salt can go on now. And then we'll just toss it so each piece is covered. And I like to drape this over the top. So just a few pieces so we can still see that gorgeous green. And finally, our pickled onions. See how they've changed colour? And because they were so thin, they're going to be really mild but slightly crunchy. We'll just pop that over the top. This is all the rage at the moment. A lot of restaurants are doing this, and I thought, why not try and make it at home? It looks cool. In fact, that is one hell of a sexy dish. If you want to impress your friends, make this for an entree. They're going to love you. And the best thing is, you can make all of this ahead of time. Simply pop it together just before serving. Yummy.